Hi there, Virgo. Healing Grasshopper here to do your monthly reading for August 2025. We're starting with the Ace of Wands. We'll see if that's reversed in a moment. We've got the Two of Wands. All right. So we've got some fire going this month. I like to see it. Um, okay. So Ace of Wands. See if it's reversed. No. Okay. So right out of the gate, Ace of Wands is about getting things done with the help of spirit. I love this combination of cards here because there is automatic reassurance here. There's like the universe saying, we're working with you to get things done. You will make the right choices and you're on the right path. Those moments of, you know, insecurity and doubt that you have this month is nonsense, right? So, aces are about beginnings, right? So it's clear that you're beginning to put something together. And when you're in the beginning of something, there is always doubts. This creeps up at some point, no matter how confident, competent, you are, skilled, it doesn't matter. At some point, there will be even a tiny voice in the back of your mind like, wait, am I sure I can pull this off? Um, but, and the reason why you have the Seven of Swords here and not like the Two of Swords, um, or some of the other doubtful cards is because this is one of the ones that really screams out like frivolity. Like, this is nonsense. This person is not in any kind of peril, but she certainly is projecting that she is. She's very much this whole her being tied up and blindfolded is her own projection of herself. Um, but she's just fine. She's in shallow water. She's fine. Okay. So, and it's not the first time you've heard this about this card, I'm sure. So I don't think I need to explain it anymore. But see, the combination is important because there is the reassurance that comes before your feeling. So it kind of fortifies this feeling. What else we got, Spirit? So for those of you who are starting a new business, or those who already have a business who are thinking of starting something new within your business, you're on the right track, Spirit is saying. And not only are you on the right track, that notion that you have within you was ignited by something greater than you, right? You may not have noticed that it was actually a download. So there's nothing to fear here. The Chariot. Yeah, man. This is let's go, Virgo. And No one has to tell a Virgo, let's go. Virgo is always willing to, Virgo doesn't hesitate uh, very long. Once you have a game plan, Virgo is off and running. So this is you. Virgo, you guys have the notion and you're like, yep, let's do it. Um, and by the way, the chariot coming out after the seven of swords tells me that you won't be here. You will choose to leave this energy yourself very quickly. You're going to be like, never mind. Let me hop in my chariot. Let's go. Ain't nobody got time for doubt and worry. Virgo's got things to do. What's our focus card, Spirit, please? Love it. Okay. Focus card. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now I see where the doubt comes from. So, Virgo, this is a departure from um, something that you realize wasn't working. And that's why the chariot came out after the seven of swords, because it's kind of like, yeah, I have doubt, but I'm not going to get anywhere where I am anyway. So I need to go, right? And we know this too, because here is spirit lighting a fire under your butt, like, can't stay here, let's go. So, yeah. And what's also really nice, I just saw, my eyes went up to the two of wands here, that you have these two connected, one on top of the other, which is complementary energies here. Where here is you're making an advantageous choice for yourself, and this is also an advantageous choice for yourself. And both of these energies here require faith. Faith in oneself and faith in their connection to spirit, right? Because here is the moon, which is a representation of one's intuition. There's a face on it, and the moon is looking down at this person is looking up at the moon. There's a dialogue here, right? There's a very nice energy that you're in right now, um, Virgo. And you know what? I just heard I can't lose, right? Sometimes, um, and I also heard pissed off for success. Sometimes we can be in a situation where we are so uncomfortable that it is very fertile ground for us to create something big, because we can generate you know we're more prone to go for lofty ideals where we might not have before, you know and this all goes back to this ace of wands, the fire under your butt. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a tower too, you know like a ten of swords, just something that you're forced to move away from. You have no choice. What else we got, Spirit? You need at least four more cards. The Wheel of Fortune, Virgo. I am so happy to see the readings going well. The energy that's changed through the years is just because we've all been going through a tough time, especially earth signs. So, but we're moving away from this energy. But there is very much a feeling here of taking the top down of our chariots, our convertibles, and putting our sunglasses and driving away with the wind in our hair, you know? Driving away from the rubble of the tower, right? So here's the Wheel of Fortune. This is your good karma. This is where you are driving towards. This is very much screams of your spirit guides, of God, right? The universe saying, let's go get in the convertible Ferrari or the limo because we're taking you to your banquet. You know, Virgo, you're on your way to something that you want. So turn away. You know what? You should probably only if you need it. I just heard Virgo doesn't need it. If you feel you can make yourself a mantra of some kind, or even just like a single word that will like shake you out of these negative thoughts here. Whenever your mind drifts into a negative thought, something, say, no, not today, or something, and then get back to your planning because your positive energy, like there's always a counter energy to what you want. There's always a tug of the negative, and it's up to you whether you're going to let it grow in your garden or not, like weeds. What else we got? hmm The Five of Wands is the conflict card. Can we add two more, please? Knight of Cups. Okay. Okay. So Five of Wands and the Knight of Cups. What it's saying here is that there is going to be kind of a feeling of having to fight for what you want, but it doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't necessarily mean other people in competition. It can if you are entrepreneurs and you are fighting for your market share, right? Um, and that your competition is kind of off in the distance. It's a factor in your decision making, but not necessarily a barrier, if that makes sense. The Five of Wands in this reading can look more threatening than it actually is. It's just saying that there will be kind of an energy of feeling that there's something to fight for or strive for. But the Nine of Cups is saying, if you follow your heart, you're you'll always be moving in the right direction. Um, and spirit just brought my attention to my own business when I was a realtor, and the being a realtor in New York, in the New York City area, is cutthroat. I mean, you can imagine where there is money, there's corruption and greed, right? So I, as a very spiritual and ethical, empathetic business person, would come across a whole lot of dishonest realtors, right? So, and I'd see their dishonest practices, and all they were thinking about was getting the coin. And my approach was always service first, and then the money will come later, right? Help your clients. Put the client's needs first, and then the money will always follow. That's what this is talking about. Especially after the Wheel of Fortune. This is all together here, where this talks that here we're talking about good karma, then we're talking about something that we are struggling with, and we're talking about following someone's heart. So this is all about encompasses that of, you know, working ethically and morally and following one's heart and intuition and that kind of thing. So when you are presented this month with a choice of kind of a shady way of making money, but a seemingly sure way that's definitely going to bring you that coin, but maybe putting someone else at a disadvantage, or maybe a slightly harder way that's for the greater good of all, you know the choice to make. Right? You should always be moving towards the greater good of all. There's a very windy way of talking about moving towards the greater good. The world. Listen, whenever you have the Wheel of Fortune and the world in a reading, you should really sit up and pay attention because this is a turning point in your life. We go through, we have changes of paradigm all the time. You know, we talk about parallel universes, but there are infinite amounts of parallels, right? There is one universe where you decided to go to the supermarket today. And there's another universe where you didn't go to the supermarket and you went to Costco. You know, that's a whole two different, you know, paradigms, right? But those are kind of like, if you think in terms of kind of like blood vessels. Those are capillaries. Those are tiny little choices. But this talks about like a carotid artery. This, you know, you understand, like a major highway instead of a little, you know, tiny residential street. I know I'm making strange analogies, but I need for you to understand, Virgo, that you're moving into an energy where you are not coasting along in life. This is like your numbers up. Oh my God. I'm sorry, but Spirit's sending me some very strange visions. Just now, I had this vision of, being in the DMV when they're now serving E 11 11 11. E 1 1 1. That kind of thing. This is you. The universe is like, okay, Virgo, here's your energy. We are, pouring gasoline on that fire of yours so that you can, blast off into whatever it is that you want in life. So let's take a pause. Think about what you want. Make sure, and Virgo, let's not forget that we are earth signs, and I'm also an earth sign, Capricorn sun here, right? Earth signs do need to remind ourselves every now and then to check in with spirit because we are earth signs. We are very much rooted in earth, the material, where there's nothing wrong with that, but we've got to remember the balance in reaching our branches out into the ether as well, because that is going to help us get the best outcome as we go through this portal. I'm very excited for you, Virgo. The moon and the Queen of Wands. Well, hmm, there's the tower. I did expect to see the tower. I don't know if that's really for us. Is the tower for us? No. Any of these cards for us? No. I have a fan on me. I think the fan just kind of, whoops, blew the cards. The Emperor. Okay. So the moon talks about a lack of clarity. And I would expect the moon to be more like this. But at any rate, okay, I see why it's there. Not reversed. Okay, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, so the moon is attached to the Ace of Wands and the Chariot here, the Seven of Cups. Okay, so there is, let's take these away for a moment. We're focusing on the moon, right? Surrounded by these four cards. And this is very much telling a tale of movement, of choices, right? So the moon is very much like I said before, spirits like, come on, Virgo, let's go get in the chariot. And you're like, okay, but where are we going? Right? So there's somewhat of a feeling, and the moon doesn't necessarily need to be negative because it talks about a lack of clarity, but I don't feel that it's negative here, especially because it came out here and not here, right? This is just saying that you need to have faith, and you you're not going to be able to see, you're not going to be able to plan everything out. Not everything is going to go as planned, right? God works in mysterious ways and that kind of thing. You may have a desire and God may acknowledge that desire, keep it in mind, but God always has a better plan, right? Um, So what I'm saying is that you have made a choice for yourself here at Two of Wands to do something new for yourself. Um, and some of those ideas may be definitive, and some of them might be a little vague, you know, specific, and some of them might be vague. But for the specific ones, don't clutch too tightly to them because right now you're on a journey, a divine journey that you're going to need to, for a good part of it, just have faith and patience. Um, so there's a mix of effort and passivity here. There needs to be a balance. How do you know what that balance is? I can't tell you, Virgo. That is why you are going to need to wait a minute. Didn't we? Yes. That is why you're going to need to have this dialogue here. You know, when I was talking about the way these two are looking at each other, this is you having a dialogue with spirit, right? The better connection you have, the easier it's going to be for you to be riding in this chariot. Um, so Queen of Wands, the reason why she's here is primarily because she's attaching herself to the Seven of Swords here. Because the Seven of Swords is all about doubt, and the Queen of Wands is all about optimism and confidence. Okay? So the Queen of Wands is here, like I said in the beginning of the reading. Spirit was saying from these two cards over here that this energy and thoughts are nonsense. Queen of Wands is personifying that. Emperor is not reversed. As soon as I put the Emperor down, my eyes are going to the Five of Wands. Because in any kind of situation where you feel any kind of tug of a struggle or competition or a conflict, you get the idea. One has to climb into their emperor energy of standing their ground, of holding on to their confidence, right? And being discerning, but rational at the same time. This is an upright emperor, right? Upright emperor is rational and fair and ethical, but strong and commanding, right? So these are all the things that you're going to need to, and this is very Virgo. Um, my only caveat to you, Virgo, is this month you're going to need to utilize your grace with people because I heard grace. Virgo, you guys are very smart and ultra skilled, ultra competent. Okay. And you can lose your temper with other folks that aren't quite up to your speed. Yeah, because the Emperor and I keep looking at the Queen of Wands here too. Just try not to bite anyone's head off this month. And you're going to just need to be patient. I need three more. Three more. I mean, I don't know. Wait, what happened with the cards here? Got jumbled cards. I don't know that you ever need to clarify the world, but we'll take three more. The, the other thing, Virgo, um, yeah, well, I said that already. Um, yeah, about your patience too. That's why the Emperor is here connected to the Wheel of Fortune too, is because you're on a very strong tsunami wave of good karma, right? You don't want to derail that momentum, right? Chariot here of good karma with being too iron fisted with folks and creating a sour, low vibrational and not low, dragging the vibration down with frustration and anger. Okay. Page of Pentacles, very good. The Sun, gorgeous. And attached to the Queen of Wands, for sure. Queen of Wands with her sunflowers around her are about optimism, moving with optimism. The Sun is optimism, happiness, fulfillment. You will reach fulfillment by being optimistic and moving away from this, having faith. Um, Not reversed. Okay. So Page of Pentacles here is just talking about it's confirming what I said before about moving towards your goal, but making choices for the greater good. That's the Page of Pentacles here in this context. Because with each step that he takes, he sees that he's, you know, making lucrative choices. And those lucrative choices are based on choices for the greater good. They're aligned with the greater good. The Strength card with the worlds. It's this is a culmination of everything that I just said. Your faith, your grace, your patience, your confidence. Yeah, is going to get you through this portal to your best timeline. So, does that mean that you're gonna walk through a door and you're suddenly gonna be in Disney World? I hope so. No, but I feel like you're gonna feel your energy changing for sure. These two cards tell me that for sure. And I was gonna say the sun too. I also missed until just now. The sun is has come out over the moon. Remember I was talking about before that spirit was said get into the chariot and you said where are we going? You don't have to question that. Just know that just have faith and know deep down in your heart that you're going somewhere good. Just be sure that you're following your heart and don't let that devil on your shoulder get the best of you. So that's pretty much the message. You're going to have a fantastic month, Virgo. Your energies are changing and I'm thrilled for you. I'm looking forward to hearing from you um, in the comment section. I love to hear from you guys and I answer every single comment. So can't wait to see you there. Um, don't forget to like and subscribe, please. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and beyond. Um, it's a quick gesture that costs you nothing. That means the world to me. So thank you very much. Um, some of you might not know that there are other signs that you should be watching and driving messages for, not just your sun sign, your moon, your north node, and your rising signs. If you don't know what those are, you can find out what those are for free. Just Google calculate my blank sign. There'll be plenty of sites that do it for free. Once you find that out, you come back here and watch the corresponding signs for other relevant messages. So if you guys are inclined to really help me, what would help me the most are two things. Going and looking for my at the playlist that I've made, choose a playlist and put it on autoplay, put it on for background noise when you're doing the dishes or cleaning or whatever. Also, while you're sleeping, because watch hours really mean a lot to me and it helps boost the channel. So I thank you in advance. Um, I want to shout out to all of my viewers. My American viewers go without saying. You guys have supported me from the beginning, and I love you all. Um, but also, shout out to my viewers from other countries. I see you in the analytics. My Filipino folks, my Indian Hindu speaking folks. Um, my Spanish and Portuguese speaking folks, also Australia and Canada and UK. Shout out to you guys too. It blows me away when I look at the analytics. I'm like, wow, I can't believe people from these other countries are watching. So, welcome. At some point, the non-English speakers, um, I will get around to dubbing my videos. It's very expensive. So when I can afford it, I will start to do it. But for now, you'll have to rely on the subtitles. But I appreciate you guys. Hugs and kisses out to all of you. Love, light, and many blessings.